Hi friends, how's everyone doing on this beautiful early March day? It's currently March 9th, pretty chilly out today. I think it's about 42 degrees, but I have a lot of garden updates to show you. So this is gonna kind of be an early March garden tour. Almost nothing is blooming at the moment. Some hellebores, a few Dutch master daffodils, but mainly my focus has just been on getting things ready for the growing season. And the first big update is over in the raised beds. So let's head over there now. So back in January, I was telling you how I wanted to turn the raised beds into really a room. I really wanted the raised bed area to have more of a garden room feel. And so far we've added this deck to the front, which I absolutely love. I've removed the pot. I think that was a great choice. I can understand that this bird bath might feel a little bit small for the area, but personally, I'm just loving so much sitting here and listening to the sound of water. So I'm gonna leave it here for the moment. But the main addition is these beautiful obelisks from Plow and Hearth. So they sent me out 6 and I love them so much that I purchased 2 more. So the ones in the front here are 7 feet tall, and they're going to have some beautiful sweet peas growing up them. And then these ones here in the center, so they had sent me originally 2 5-foot obelisks, and I purchased 2 more because, like I said, I really love them and I love the quality. And we're also going to be growing sweet peas up those, and we'll change out all the vines as things start to get really warm. And then in the back, we have ones that are 8 feet tall. And I was really amazed because I put these together. They go together really quick and easy. I just built them from the top down. And I thought, oh my goodness, are these things going to be able to withstand our extreme winds and extreme rains? And immediately after I put these together, we had one of those extreme winds, storms, and they were absolutely fine. And here's a different view of the trellises from the back. But I really love these, and I'll put a link if you're interested in them. Here's a look at the beautiful detail work on them. They have these beautiful vining flowers running horizontally. But I thought these were just absolutely perfect for creating those garden walls that are really necessary over in this garden. Now, update number 2 takes us to a corner of the garden which we probably have never stepped into together before, but we're over here by this drain pipe, which has been problematic for me since we moved in because it used to drain into the grass where those 5 flagstones are in the grass. It used to drain into there. So recently I decided to make this dry creek bed, and I just kind of dug a trench and tried to create kind of a pondless waterfall, if you will, that functions as a dry creek. Now, I think I could have done a little bit better. I think maybe I made it a little too perfect looking, so I might need to go back in and make some alterations. But the great thing is it's working well, and the water is now draining away from the house, away from my grass, and it actually is landing here in the wishing well. And I did transplant another one of those incredible hydrangeas back here. So the other update is going to take us back over to the Hydrangea Annex, but let's just walk down the main flower walk together. I have done a lot of moving up different shrubs in this border in an effort to really make it as repetitive as possible. And really, I want the main flower walk to be the main flower walk again. It really was full of so many flowers prior to me starting YouTube, but I'm not even sure what really happened. It just kind of got away from me, honestly, the last few years. And it was not as floriferous as it had been back probably in, I would say, maybe 2016, 2017, but this year we're bringing it back. Full-on flowers in jewel tones a la Monty Don and Sarah Raven. So we do have some Dutch master daffodils blooming in the main flower walk, and I hope you can hear the birds in the background. It's just absolutely wonderful. One other change that I'm making over here is that I put 3 trellises along the garage. Please pardon the garage at the moment, it needs cleaned. But I put these 3 trellises in, and last year, I did not film this, but I purchased a false hydrangea vine. I had never grown one before and I wanted to give it a try, and it gets flowers that look like Haas halo, kind of that lace cap look to them, but they can grow in part shade, which is what's going on back here. and I just loved it. So we're gonna be growing false hydrangea vine up all 3 of these, and eventually it will just cover the garage. Wouldn't that be beautiful? I also thought it would be nice to put a window box on that window, but I'm not sure if I can drill into the block or not. Has anyone done that before? It's just a block garage that's painted white. So I hope the camera can capture all the bulbs that are starting to emerge. It's going to be very bulbalicious over here come May, especially with alliums. I think I had mentioned that I really made a huge investment in alliums this year, and I just can't wait to show you how beautiful it's going to be in May. The April and May garden, I am just so excited to see this garden come back to life. And it's just been so fun to kind of paint a new picture of the main flower walk in my mind. Grace, what are you doing here? Grace wants to say hi to everybody. Here's something that I'm also playing around with. I'm contemplating making a little seating area here. The shrub that's cut back is Annabelle hydrangea, and I do have a Gatsby oak leaf hydrangea on the other side. And if I just move some of the perennials that are in this area, it might be nice to have some flagstone leading towards kind of a stone carpet where there's this nice seating area. However, I'm not sure if I should put the seating area here or if I should put it back where Grace is, because normally we do have some seats back there in May and June, but then it gets really heavy with mosquitoes back there come July and August, and you can't sit over there anymore. But I've actually removed the grass from over there thinking that I would just rake some mulch over there and put some seating over there, but I'm not sure if it's worth it if you can't sit there all growing season. And then straight ahead, you might be able to see that I have prepped the bed for saving Grace Dahlia seedlings, which I'll be starting next week. Now let's move on to garden update 3 and 4. Garden update number 3 is that the Hydrangea Annex is going to be full of hydrangeas. I had talked about back in January about filling this whole area with lily of the valley, and a lot of people commented and reminded me that lily of the valley, especially in wet, humid areas like the one that I garden in, a lot of times they get that rust. And I do remember that growing up at my mom's house, hers would sometimes get that. So I do still want to grow lily of the valley because I'm growing it because I want to sell the flowers. It's a really high-end, expensive flower, but I'm going to place those in the front garden. And what I have done is I have transplanted 2 mountain hydrangeas, 1 big leaf hydrangea, 1 smooth lace cap hydrangea, and 1 oak leaf hydrangea into this area. And what I've also started to do is put some bare root perennials in this area. Yesterday I put in Anemone sylvestris Pink Beauty, which is a hot pink anemone, a perennial anemone in my area. And I think I might come in with some sweet woodruff. I'm not totally sure exactly what's going to go underneath this dogwood, but I really do want it to echo what's going on in the hydrangea room with the pinks, the purples, the greens, and the whites. And I'm also going to repeat the boxwoods and the pots in this area in the hopes that these 2 areas will really almost feel like one garden. Here's an update on what's going on in the raised beds at the moment. I planted out my ranunculus. Here we're growing Merlot and a cafe ranunculus. The cafe is more of an orange. Over there I'm growing the Picardy pink and white, which I grew last year. Here's the Sweet William that overwintered. You can see it did take on some damage there at the base, but they're all coming back well. So we have half a bed of fall planted Sweet William, and then right next to it we're going to do a spring planting of Sweet William. That bed has a menagerie of cool flowers. When I seeded this bed, it must have rained right afterwards and it washed the seed all over the place, and that bed is just kind of a quilt work of cool flowers. I'm just going to let it bloom and see what happens. Here we have our bachelor's buttons. They always overwinter here really great. The lowest that we got this year was 4 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's a look at the overwintered Bupleurum, and it does look like I have some chickweed in this area that I need to come in and sort out. Here's a look at how the Nigella is doing. Here we have some beautiful larkspur, one of my favorite cool flowers. When we got down to 4 degrees, this feverfew pretty much died back all the way to the ground, but it's already started to come back with a lot of great vigor. And so we'll have a nice crop of feverfew on both sides of Hummingbird Way. We're over here in the driveway garden now, and can you guys see these mourning doves? Oh, okay. You know what? I'm just gonna stand back here because I think they're taking kind of a leisurely nap in the driveway garden and I don't want to disturb them. But basically, there's really nothing going on over here in the driveway garden at the moment. But in about a month and a half, it will be filled with alliums, daffodils, and tulips. So friends, let me know your thoughts on all those garden updates. I also should probably mention that I am having some oral surgery on Monday, and I would certainly appreciate your thoughts and prayers for my surgeon as I go through with that surgery that I probably should have got 20 years ago, but now it's really become a necessary surgery. So I may need to take a week, maybe 2 weeks off from YouTube, but as soon as I'm feeling better, we'll be getting back out here into the garden. But for now, I want to wish you a wonderful day and happy gardening. Bye.